Old Tannenbaum, Old Tannenbaum. Yes, I'm a little bit early, but guess what? The red light is on, so you know what that means. It means we are live and we are back for another episode of the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. Now, we are one step away from the next step to the road to WrestleMania. But tonight we discuss the future and if that future maybe now. So tonight we talk about who will lead the next generation NXT. Get it? Like the thing I did of WWE as we take another step tiptoeing to the Royal Rumble 2024. All that and more right after this. Let's get it.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! What you gonna do? 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 Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Follow us on all social media platforms, including Instagram, Threads, X, Facebook at Wrestling Realm. Like, subscribe, and engage in the conversation with us. And you can download all of our audio content on Anchor, Stitcher, Podbean, Pocket Cast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Watch us and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Realm. I am your host, yours truly, the big man. Hey, yo, the realness himself, the real Wayne Allen. He is your host, the Belt King, Brandon, the guy. He is your host, Brother Hugh, H to A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R, to the D, has a third, will be joining us shortly. And he is the man, the heart and soul of what we do. Hollywood. Brian H. Waters in the building. If you would like to advertise with the Wrestling Realm, because business is booming and you want to advertise your business, whether it's a sponsorship segment or partner up with the Wrestling Realm, please advertise with us. Advertise with the Wrestling Realm. Contact us at Wrestling. excuse me. Oh, I'm at it again. WrestlingRealm@gmail.com. Please put in the subject matter advertising. We will reach out to you with our rates and see how we can develop a partnership with you. With that being said, if you want to support the Wrestling Realm and all Wrestling Realm merchandise, head over to WrestlingRealm.com, where you can get t-shirts, hoods, hoodies, mugs, and more. For those who may not be familiar with the Wrestling Realm, we are working hard to give you so much bonus content and material. Clickety cloud. So we have a Patreon channel. That's right, patreon.com/the wrestling_realm for all exclusive shows and bonus material. Brian, it's your thoughts, writings, blooper reels, so much more to come. We are working diligently to make sure that we are bringing you all type of exclusive and bonus material. You can subscribe for just as low as $1. So yes, for our exclusive shows and bonus material, head to our Patreon and subscribe. Patreon.com/the wrestling_realm. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show. You ready, bro? You ready, brother Brandon? You ready?
I'm ready. So are you ready?
I am, but first, I tricked you. If you were looking for tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com, where you can use promo code Wrestling Realm for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's right. The WWE Live Holiday Tour should be underway sooner rather than later.
Randy Orton got added to the one here in Baltimore.
There you go. And if you're going by yourself, that's cool. But if you're going with two people, do yourself a favor. Save yourself $20 off any purchase, $50 or more. Tickets cost quite a bit these days with inflation and changing economy. But the Wrestling Realm is here to do you, a favor. Use our promo code Wrestling Realm, all one word. for all live events, sporting events, and so much more. So SeatGeek.com. And guess what? Once you use your one-time purchase, as Brian H will tell you, just use another email. And there you have it. So SeatGeek.com, save yourself $20, get $20 off your holiday tour tickets using promo code Wrestling Rep anytime one purchase, $50 or more. Now, this is also the part. Ready? See, I swerved you before, and I'm not talking to Isaiah Strickland.
You swear when you drive.
You said Isaiah Strickland.
I take it back.
He fixed all his name.
This is the part where we review the latest and greatest show, the latest thing to the brand, the wrestling realm, championship culture, hosted by the man, the Belt King, the King of Belt Kings. So that's a new one. Brandon,
The King
guy.
of Belt
guy.
Kings.
So if you head over to youtube.com/the wrestling realm and look up our playlist, Championship Culture, you can check all the episodes of season 1. Now, apparently they are working on season 2. And last week we got a couple of spoilers. We had a couple of things that popped up, but Brandon, the guy, you made an announcement. January 16th will be the debut of season 2 of Championship Culture. And I can't wait. You want to tell the people about season 2?
So it's been a change, and it's been a good change because of the amount of content for episode 1. It is now formed into a mega episode, and we had a slight, it's going to be a slight change in the date to January 23rd. But because it's a mega show, hint, hint, wink, wink, that's all I'm going to say. It's still entitled Those Wrestling Girls, but there's been a change for the good. So instead of it's just being delayed 1 week, but it's worth the wait. You know how if you wait, you'll get more. The more you wait, the more you get, I guess. So on 123, Championship Culture will be back, and it's still called The Wrestling Girls. And that's all I'm gonna tell you about that one. But your hat is making me very festive, don't you believe so?
Listen,
I think your hat is making me very festive, sir.
First of all, if this is the thing about Brother Brandon, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not watching, please head to your closest YouTube channel and please click the link to this video. It's because what you're about to see is how gracious enough that Brother Brandon is such a giver. Giving us season 2 of Championship Culture, he has graciously told us that season 2 will be pushed back a week. Originally, it was January 16th. It is officially now January 23rd. Is that the day before the Rumble?
No, the Rumble is
the
the
27th.
27th. I don't know why it's 24. But
yeah, it's the Tuesday before the Rumble.
I can't thank Brandon enough for giving us such gifts and him in such a festive mood, inspired by my Santa Claus. Brother Brandon decided to jump into the holidays his own self. Ladies and gentlemen.
This guy.
So, as you can see from that wonderful graphic there, Championship Culture, I'm gonna take you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna take you back to some nostalgia. You know how when your favorite show was on holiday break and they always had like a Christmas special or like they did the holiday special? This is for one night only. On this Tuesday coming up, there's going to be a special holiday episode. And if you see this, it's called Unwrapping Happiness. So with Brandon the guy, if you're free on Tuesday, I want you to check out this.
Belts?
It's called Unwrapping Happiness, sir. If you tune in, you might be able to see what we're going to be unwrapping and what this happiness will be. Because if you're missing it and you're not watching this, you will see a picture of the guy with a the real Dwayne Allen Santa hat inspired. So, you okay there?
Ladies and gentlemen.
You okay? Well, you all right?
I'm over here dying, bro. First of all, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just shocked at the next man. First of all, the picture itself threw me off. Brother Hugh and his graphics are just out of this world at this point. He's taking things to a different level. But apparently, we're getting almost. I guess this is a bonus episode of Championship Culture. Christmas has come early, and they have given us the gifts of gifts. Championship Culture is a special bonus holiday episode called Unwrapping Happiness.
Yo,
you just made me happy, especially with the look and that Santa Claus hat. Please, if you have not seen this photo, you need to see this graphic for Championship Culture's bonus. I guess it's a special episode, special holiday preview episode called Unwrapping Happiness. I'm assuming belts are going to be unwrapped. And guess what? Because unwrapping belts makes me happy. That's just my assumption. But I will be tuned in. You said what's the date? Tuesday?
This Tuesday coming up. It's going to be this Tuesday, a special holiday edition of Championship Culture. And I will tell you this. If you tune in, you will not be disappointed.
Wow.
And that's all I'm going to say about that because, every belt has a story.
The only thing we're missing right now is Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You," and just this whole festive holiday stream of goodness gracious. Hold on, I got to see that again. I'm sorry, I got to put some. Ladies and gentlemen, this is too much, bro. Hold on. Shout out to Brother Hugh entering the building. Usually we cue your Dolph Ziggler theme music, but man, did you see? Just listen to me. This is by far the level of creativity that Wrestling Room stands for. There it is.
Oh my god!
You guys, I laughed at this graphic for like 2 days, bro. I laughed at this graphic for 2 days.
Bro, Christmas has come early from the restaurant. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. The good folks at Championship Culture, Brother Hugh, Brandon the Guy are giving us a bonus holiday episode called Unwrapping Happiness this Tuesday at 8 p.m., correct?
Yes, sir.
8 p.m.
The same time the Championship Culture normally broadcasts, there's a special episode is happening. So it sounds like it's living up to the hype. Oh, there's my mom in the chat said she loves this.
Hey,
hey, mom. Oh my gosh.
So tune in this Tuesday. We shall see.
I don't know how much
you want
to show.
Hugh, do you want to tell them anything else about it, or you think that is that enough to get them interested?
Oh, listen.
Did I forget anything?
I gave him a little appetizer. That's all they need. That's all they need, bro.
That's all they need. Okay. They don't need nothing else. That's all they get.
Wow. That's it. Just a little.
That made my day. Wow, Christmas has come early. Look at this. The Wrestling Room already handing out holiday presents. It's too much, bro.
He's still laughing.
Sorry, I gotta move on with the show. Yes, Championship Culture, youtube.com/the Wrestling Room playlist Championship Culture. Please check it out. If you've not seen season 1, before we get a whiff of season 2, we get a special holiday episode. So shout out to you, Brother Brandon. Shout out to you, Brother Hugh. That's going to be great. I can't wait, and especially with this. I'm sorry.
I hope Dwayne is free on Tuesday.
I got to just one more time. I'm sorry. I just got to this.
It's the smile.
Oh my gosh, bro.
He'll never choose that hard.
Why do I feel like this is an AI photo? Like you guys talk about,
right?
I feel like this is artificial intelligence. They say, imagine Brother Brandon, the Bell King, with smiling with a Santa Claus hat. And
send it. Your mother says send it to her. That's an order.
That's going to be your guys' Christmas card. It's going to be happy holiday.
She's going to make that her thing when I call her. It's going to be my photo when I call her now.
Yep.
Yeah, send it to mom. She needs it. That was great. That's a great way to start off the show. Like I said, Championship Culture. This Tuesday special holiday episode. It's an early Christmas present for me, and I'm sure everybody else can kick out of it too. That first of all, that graphic that Brother Hugh, I did that. The graphic that Hugh put together was already gifted itself. Oh man! So
can you imagine if he had to wait a week to show that, or if he had to wait one more day?
I think he would have leaked it. He would have leaked it.
It was almost as funny as remember those pictures that was coming out for NXT WrestleMania, and they had all those random pictures up. That was like, oh, this Tuesday on NXT when they went against AEW. That's how I felt with that picture. I was like, every time I looked at it, I said, you can't help but to laugh at this because this thing is hilarious. You still laugh,
bro? I can't. I gotta add another laugh track. I'm sorry. Oh Jesus, Brandon, coming.
You're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep going back to that picture, aren't you?
Man, I can't help it. Okay.
Mission accomplished here.
Early shenanigans.
Where did he go?
I don't know. What the heck?
He's probably laughing. He probably had to cut off.
He laughed so hard that his computer cut off. But today, brothers, like I said, we are here to take another step closer to the road to WrestleMania. But we're not quite there yet. We have a few more steps to go. And the biggest and most crucial step before Elimination Chamber, before anything else, is the coveted Royal Rumble. This is tradition. This is everything. And this is not quite our Royal Rumble preview show. We got a little bit of time, just a little bit more time. But today we're going to talk about the future of the WWE because I think the future of the WWE will play a major part in this year's Royal Rumble. So that's why we're setting the table this way as we dive into who will lead this next generation this next version of what WWE is. And we're going to start by reviewing NXT Deadline. I never thought I'd see the day where NXT will be back in big arenas like takeovers, and they're standing on their own 2 feet, and people are going out of their way to be a part of it. And NXT Deadline is the perfect place for us to start as we begin this show. But that is the main event of tonight's show. But of course, we have to start every show with the bell ringing in our coveted segment. Gentlemen, what did you watch? Sponsored by nobody just yet, but if you would like to hit us up, advertise with the Wrestling Rump at gmail.com. What did you watch? Brian H. Brother Brandon. A lot going on this week. And like I said, we're going to spend the majority of today talking about the future of the WWE and how good NXT Deadline was and where it stands and how it plays its part going into the future as we step into the Royal Rumble. But what else did you brothers get into this week? And if you're watching the show or you're in the chat, put in the chat, what did you watch this week as well?
Let's see. Right now, I got on No Mercy 2001. Last week I was watching Unforgiven 2001, and so I was like, I'm gonna go to the next show. It's we're in the thick of actually we were kind of winding down this whole WWF versus WCW ECW alliance. But it's actually 2 of Brother Hugh's favorites, that being Test and Kane on my screen right now. But y'all may remember the main event was RVD versus Stone Cold versus Kurt Angle, and this is that. Nothing's new under the sun. This is where they was introducing RVD to that main event scene. So that's what I've been watching. Of course, kind of went back down another Von Erich rabbit hole. So, kind of peeped some more stuff.
Still there.
Yeah, AEW disappointed me tonight. They built this thing. It was my favorite. It was the thing I was looking forward to the most. I wanted to see Kevin Von Erich. I just wanted to see him come out, get the big Dallas pop, and I ain't get it.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, bro.
Well, that's disappointing.
Y'all just did a backstage segment where y'all say, okay, Marshall and the other one, his name escapes me. Y'all going to be on Rampage. Y'all in Dallas. Do they not realize like they were rock stars, man? But
yeah. Did anybody talk more fondly of the Von Erich than Stone Cold Steve Austin?
That's Michael Hayes.
There you go. That's a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, but Hayes also comes from but if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have been there. He still got that ego a little bit, but so yeah, definitely Stone Cold. But Stone Cold, he grew up in world class. Well, watching world class, he always talks about him, Gino Hernandez, and then gentleman Chris Adams. It's actually, so I think I did 5-6 audiobooks this year, but one of them was the Stone Cold Truth. Okay. And it's a phenomenal book. It's real like a 3-hour read. It's very short or listen. But he talks about all of that, and talk about I didn't realize his mother and Dusty Rhodes went to high school together.
Oh wow, I would have never known. That's new.
Exactly. So
that's
it's
interesting.
So
you talking about wrestling in their blood for real,
right?
Like that's whatever better way to say that.
Yeah, him and his mother and Dusty Rhodes, But yeah, that's pretty much what I watched.
What about you, Brother Brandon? What did you get into this week, sir?
I went back down not too far memory lane, and it's the reason I did it. But I don't want to tell why, because I was trying to figure out when did NXT become so good. And what I realized, it was like, and was crazy. Remember, we got hit with the paint splatter, and it was just so much at one time.
I remember that.
And then it was like all of a sudden, we all started talking about, oh, that was a good match. Oh, that was a good match. Oh, that was good. Y'all know I was an Ilion fan, but I was like, what else did I miss? But I was like, I just went down the NXT rabbit hole where I went back and relived, and it said that he's not wrestling right now. Wesley and his North American reign. And then I watched a lot of Ilyanov and Baron Corbin the first time, Ilyanov and Trick, to see, okay, are they going to do something different this time? Because now that we have that, I was like, ooh, let me go back and watch this to see what can they do, because every time you have an Ilyanov match, it's different, but it's still unique.
Sure.
And this man, I don't want to say he keeps evolving. I think this leads into the show. He has a bright future, but I'm nervous about on a grander stage.
Fair.
And I hope that doesn't come off the wrong way because look what he did with him and Walter. Then look what he's done with everybody he's been working with in NXT. It's like, I hope we don't lose that translation on SmackDown or Raw if they call him over. So it was kind of like, and then just seeing the evolution of Braun Breaker, him and his Ciampa match, you could tell Ciampa was trying to put him over, but it wasn't Braun Breaker. They didn't know what they had, trying to figure him out. And now seeing him at Deadline, and I'll get to it later, was like a whole totally different person. So it was nostalgia, as in like recent nostalgia, or what was Michael Cole say, vintage. This person, but it was like, you know, in the sense of wrestling, it was like yesterday. So we're now time left. So that's the thing. So when we get to Deadline, I'll expand on that more because I was just kind of doing let me see, how did we get here?
Right? Why is this good?
And I
find out.
And think about it. When was the moment that you realized NXT Black, White, and Gold was good? It's a lot of moments sprinkled in. It wasn't like one distinct show. It kind of was like the LA Night effect.
It was Black, White, and Gold.
Oh yeah, because
Endo had that conversation earlier. I was like, "So do we call black?" And she's like, "You can't call black and gold. It's disrespectful to the people." I said, "So do we call black and yellow?" And then Justin started singing the black and yellow song. And I was like, "Nah, I can't deal with that.
I can't do that."
That's Khalifa and the Steelers and all of them."
Yeah, so I'm gonna stick to Black, White, and Gold because we got 3 different eras.
That.
Yeah, because that was the logo that was revealed when HBK said, you know, we understand it, and 2.0 was a little bit much, and we understand that the original NXT was what people loved, but we can't go back to that. So we're going to try to mix the two, and that's kind of what we got.
Yeah. And it was a good mix, but it was so many moments that you're like, when and I equated. I mean, I added basically the Carmelo effect. We like, I mean, I call LA Knight. When did this happen? But we just liked him, and that's what it felt like with the Black, White, and Gold. Like, oh, I don't know, it just got good all of a sudden. Like
when they changed the colors.
Is that one?
Because it was getting good right before. It was like it seemed like it was maybe a couple episodes before. It was like, wait, this ain't that bad. And then it was like they changed the colors and it just solidified that we wasn't being tricked.
Okay, that it's real. Like, no, this is really the next evolution, which made sense.
Mandy Rose apart? Yeah, she was still there, right?
Yeah, she was part of the transition to the new.
Yeah. Because I knew she had the color belt, but because they didn't change the belts, that also didn't like okay, whether or not this person was black and gold or color.
Or she, but remember, she didn't want to unify the belts.
Yeah,
the UK one, and then they
made Miko Sato more sense.
Yep. You noticed that too? But I'm gonna say this: it's crazy because the commentator said, you know, Cramelo is the only person to hold all of the singles titles, and I was like, oh shoot, he is. He's the only one to hold the cruiserweight too, technically, because he unified. I was like, okay, and that's why he's in the United States tournament. I think they about to tell a story.
See, I'm telling you, that's the lead off into tonight's show. That's a little hint. So if people are watching and you're listening to as we talk about what we watched this week, please pay attention to the hints that are being dropped. Brother Hugh, what did you get into this week?
And I'm saying stuff about belts for a reason, but we're going to keep that alone right here.
Absolutely.
Do we need to put the Christmas photo again? Shut up. Do I need to put it up?
Yeah, bring it up. One more time.
Oh.
Go ahead, bring it up.
Hold on, here we go. One more time.
Oh boy.
Y'all are having too much fun with this. If I knew this would bring so much joy.
Oh man, talk about Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. How can you look at that? That's top 5. If I could nominate you, Brother Hugh, for any type of graphics award, this would be the nomination I would choose. But yes, excuse me, we got to keep going because we'll be laughing at that thing all night. I'm gonna save that, and that's going in the group text. So every time he says something, I'm just gonna post that.
That's gonna be your response instead of the.
No doubt. That's gonna be that from now on.
Right,
Brother Hugh, what did you watch this week, sir?
I actually caught up on NXT. I missed.
Okay, so you on the same wave as Brother Brandon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I missed Deadline, but and I missed the last NXT show, so I caught up on those literally right before the show. And man, they deliver always. They always deliver. This hey, it's a reason the best show in wrestling right now. The talent is on point. Like, there's no weak
Mhm.
links in that whole show. And whatever show you're dealing with, I don't care if it's a regular show on a Tuesday night. I don't care if it's a PLE. They always deliver. There's no weak spots, no weak at all.
Even the breakout
It's just
tournament.
very enjoyable to watch, as opposed to
Oh my God, the breakout tournament.
Yeah.
Why I can't?
Yeah.
Wow, that's all I'm gonna say. It's just so many. It's why are they good? They're good matches. They're not. All right, if it's a botch, it's not a big deal. Like, oh, should they miss the spot, but they make up for it.
Mhm.
I don't know. Are they hungry? Are they just different? Are they got better
know.
producers or what? I can't say what it is. It's just
I don't
good.
know.
HBK.
There you go. HB Shizzle.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Big Softy.
You said
Usually,
Big Softy.
usually a
Big
sign for me
Softy.
that a show is that a show's really turned the corners if I can get through the old show, right?
Yeah.
I remember Brandon say you were going back trying to watch, like, at what point did I say this is when NXT get good? And I don't remember the exact moment in detail, but I do remember when it happened. I was realizing I turned it on to watch one thing, and I found myself watching the entire show, and I was like, oh wow, I felt like I couldn't change the channel, and that's kind of what for me determines what makes a good show overall. I think AEW struggles with that, and TNA did back in the day too. Like, it was things about it that I liked, but it's like I could never get through a whole show. NXT has kind of gotten to that point, but now that
Let
we
me
kind
ask
of
you this question, realness.
yes, sir. Go ahead.
If we had this version of NXT and AEW was just launching, do we see the shift in it, or do we see AEW still flourish?
I think we see AEW flourish regardless, because just the amount of the influx of talent. You know what I mean? One thing that AEW has given us is this: they've given us household names in the world of the professional wrestling that people kind of take seriously. You know,
Okay.
and I think that was just going to happen regardless. I think people wouldn't have probably jumped on a bandwagon as fast, because a lot of people did, and then a lot of people went back. It's because NXT was the place everybody went when they were tired of the main roster. They're like, you know what? I don't like what Vince is doing. I like NXT, because NXT was like WWE's indie. You know what I mean? So even someone like people that fell into your category, Brother Brad, was like, I'm not feeling this main roster stuff, but I'll actually watch NXT because you get new talent, you get good stories, you get great matches, and you get to see people get time and develop, so on and so forth, right? And we kind of lost that when all the familiar faces went to the main roster, and they had to hit the complete reset button because there were no more. NXT could no longer be built around global superstars and free agents. They were like, no, we got to really start building around our young talent, but we got to find a way to make them just as popular as what NXT was prior to that. So,
Hey, yo, real quick, in the basketball world, I gotta talk about this because I mean, we got Draymond Green suspended indefinitely for giving out headlocks and Razor Ramon smacks. But
wow,
the Pacers, Giannis dropped 64 points tonight on the Pacers. So everybody know when you have a historic game, what do? You get the game ball, right? The Pacers took the ball back to their locker room.
that's just
That's crazy.
It's like, bro,
Giannis had 64 and they won't give him the game ball. Petty.
That's big
I'm
petty.
sorry. They still mad because they didn't get that check. LeBron was playing like somebody said he was playing like Zori wasn't gonna eat next week.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
little intense.
Yeah, because they it's like LeBron a millionaire, but he out there balling like Zori ain't gonna eat next week. He did it for the youngest.
He had to do something, especially if he wasn't not gonna win anything in like NBA championship anytime soon.
See, there you go. You just had to go there, man. You can like both,
Yep,
bro.
Yep.
You can
I
like
did.
you can like both. You can like Jordan and LeBron. It's okay. I like all three of them.
I got no beef with LeBron. He's a disappointment to me as far as the Lakers organization is concerned. There's no
He
disrespect
won
to
a
LeBron.
championship.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. But if you're part of Laker Nation, it's what have you done for me lately? That's not always.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years. The statutes of limitations to how long you can celebrate a previous championship is starting to run out. After year 3, you go into year 4, Brian. And all right, man.
Well,
Somebody graduated high school at this point.
You take 3. I got you.
That's just me though. There's
I had low expectations. I just wanted 1. That's it. So I'm good. I'm
fair
cooling.
enough. Yeah, we tied the Celtics, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But who didn't tie the Celtics? The ratings for NXT Deadline. That was a nice segue. So,
Oh wow, the comments are insane.
oh, here we go.
Oh man, Armageddon 2004. What was that main event? I'm drawing a blank.
Brandon, you're usually on top of these type of things. You're like
Right,
czar
man.
of
I'm gonna tell you,
effects.
that's his spirit animal. He loves Kane just like you.
I noticed that you like all tall wrestlers. You like Kane, you like Test. Like, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, before you got here, I was watching Kane versus Test, but now it's Stacy Keibler versus Tori Wilson.
I like that man too.
Thanks to Brian H. I go down the 2000s rabbit hole of professional wrestling because I forget about it so much.
You good?
I'm telling you, like it's you'd be surprised how good some of that stuff was. You're like, man, maybe overall, at the time we wasn't great, but you watch it, you go, oh, I remember all this is really, really good. And it's like I love going back and watching like where I was as a wrestling fan for each era. You know what I mean? And it's fun, and I really enjoyed it. I also went down a rabbit hole of all the CM Punk stuff because YouTube is rolling them all out.
Yeah, I did that last week.
YouTube is rolling out all the old CM Punk footage. But today, speaking of CM Punk,
Brandon did
Peacock
too.
is though. The Peacock hit the unlock button, and YouTube started uploading stuff, and thousands and thousands of views. Like WWE cooking this week on YouTube.
CM Punk is a moneymaker. Now, people just glad to get over it. Like CM Punk, I'll say this:
$1 million worth of merchandise, right?
Listen to me, man. That dude, I'm telling you, he deserves. I've made this comment before, but it's just relevant now because he's actually on the big stage again. It's like he deserves to celebrate this part of his career. Is because he shattered the glass ceiling for the indie superstar. He was the first one that took all those bumps and those bruises, and he pushed his way and he broke that glass ceiling, and he proved that the independent superstar could be main event players and money makers for the WWE. We got Daniel Bryan Daniel Bryan was the next one that came after him that fought, another pioneer. And so guys like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, you know what I mean? And now the Johnny Garganos and, that whole generation of NXT is able to thrive because of CM Punk, even Seth Rollins and all those guys, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, you know what I mean? Roman was, he comes from wrestling royalty, you know what I mean? But he was the archetype. He shattered those glass ceilings, and now and he's a money maker, and he's making money the right way. He's not making money through controversy, but it's like, yo, he's just drawing. He's the top guy again.
He chooses the hard way. And you really think about it. The guy who he was, the last person who on a card, his name is against Chris Benoit. He was kind of like Benoit shattered one ceiling. Sort of, but he couldn't break through as a mega star. He was a Tim Duncan, but he still got to the main event. He was a top guy. I remember personally being excited that he was going to be on ECW with the opportunity to take it to another level.
Yeah, me too, bro. I thought that it
was perfect for him because you're like, all right, he ain't gonna do much more on SmackDown or Raw, but this right here, and then you're gonna have him and CM Punk going at it, and it would have been different. Yeah, if you would have had literally somebody who was, I don't want to say territory based because the territories were gone, but somebody who would hit the Japan circuit and that, like ECW, WCW circuit versus the independent superstar. And it was going to be a merger of two worlds, but worlds that wasn't supposed to succeed, but found a way. But then like, even if you go and like, look at that promo he did on Raw, and even Seth Rollins was a perfect person in that spot, let alone just the heat they have with each other. It was one of those things where I put my phone down and I said, I don't want to hear nobody call me. I made sure the kids were straight. I had to pause it. I was like, all right, y'all good. Go to bed. Stop moving around. What up, Drew? Because I want to watch this uninterrupted. I turned off. I didn't click on no social media tab. I watched it uninterrupted because I was like, that's the promo y'all been wanting. Y'all wanted CM Punk. Y'all ain't like Happy Punk when he came back. That was the promo on SmackDown, and then Seth Rollins and them two going back and forth when he said, don't you ever call this home. I felt it.
But I went back and watched the Cody Rhodes promo. He's like, you left for 6 years, think you'd come back. I was like, Steph be having the heated promos that I feel like are grounded in reality.
He's so good at what he does.
Best stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth, though. It really is.
It's
Though.
it's the reason why I will always say he's like the Macho Man, because you look at a lot of secondary stars, right, in WWE. When there's opportunities where it's like when you had the WWE Championship and then you had the World Heavyweight Championship, but at the time when the World Heavyweight Championship wouldn't have been able to really carry the show, like say summer 2011, right? You wasn't going to trust WWE in the hands of Christian. He was the top heel, but you wasn't going to trust the company in his hands if John Cena got hurt. You feel me?
Sure. He's no AJ Styles now.
No AJ Styles. Same with Edge. You know,
Yep.
Edge is the top guy, but you know, but Seth Rollins isn't that way. Like,
right.
Macho Man still would have been a star and been able to be fine if there was no Hogan. Seth Rollins is the same way if there's no Roman. He could still be that top guy. It's just on the same time. It's just like, unfortunately, you came up in the same era, which is good, but it's not, you know. So that's the only thing. But man,
also two of the best dressed superstars of all time, Macho Man and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that suit. I want that Seth Rollins suit.
Yeah,
because Macho Man was on Arsenio Hall on more than one occasion. Stolen and profiling all over the Arsenio Hall show. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of people sound
You say a lot of people what?
Nothing. I said people that sound like Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
Brian H is cracking jokes. Who sounds like Macho Man, Brian H?
Oh yeah.
Who sounds like Macho Man? Tell us. Tell us, Hollywood. Tell us, Hollywood.
Rome After Dark.
Okay, guess what?
Oh yeah.
Roman does work, man. Cave Sports. He's home creating TikToks. He did all the work. You know, I was looking at some of this pandemic stuff. It was like, man, Roman was out here cooking in the Thunderdome. He worked.
He ain't cooking down though. He's chilling right now.
Hey, guys, leave Roman alone. Today we are here to talk about the new Roman, who is going to be up next. And I cleverly put NXT in the ad. NXT Deadline was one of those pay-per-views that to me it was I don't know how to it was like it was a defining moment for the brand. You know what I mean? And it brings a lot of questions. And this is what we're here to discuss tonight. And I'm glad everybody who has joined us, because they want to have this discussion too. We know where the WWE's loaded right now, right?
Yep.
But we're also loaded on every level. So you say you got your main roster, you have a developmental roster. They're killing it down there at their level. You have an influx of new talent to the main roster that are killing it. They're giving a little bit of time, small roles, right? And they're making the most of it. Some, not all. Maxine Dupree got some work to do, mama. But there's a handful, majority of are meshing well, and this is the best we've seen it incorporated since its inception, since NXT became almost what we consider a third brand today. So there's so much to talk about NXT Deadline. We don't have a whole lot of time to get into it. It's because we have to get into some very specific conversations. But did anybody want to make any extra comments specifically about NXT Deadline and the show that NXT put on? And those who are in the comments, please give us your opinions on NXT Deadline and what you thought about it. Give us your favorite matches, overall show, whatever you want to do, and we'll highlight you here on the show.
Man,
but fellas,
one thing go ahead. About the. Have you noticed that since we went away from Takeaway, it feels a little different?
You mean Takeover?
Now.
I
said Takeaway.
I like Takeaway though.
Because it seems like now, and it makes me pay attention. Like, we grew up watching No Mercy. Sure. We know that was a B-level pay-per-view, but now we got Deadline, Stand and Deliver. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it gives it a different feel. And even with the what was the one? The Great American Bash being part of it. What do you say?
What's in the
sorry. It seems like it's another opportunity. Show that graphic. Show them that graphic.
Show the graphic. Hey, Drew, check this out.
Drew, guess what? We're getting a live unboxing within those boxes. We have a special holiday episode coming up. You didn't know? Take a look at this. This Tuesday, 8 p.m. A
Mhm.
special holiday episode of Championship Calls. That's just for you, brother Drew. So if you listen to us, Unwrapping Happiness, as you can see. You see that hat? Special holiday episode, Championship Calls. So go ahead. That was
but
just
back
for
to
you,
the
Drew.
NXT, and
Mhm.
it's almost like
Oh, my
main roster PLEs, where it's did y'all realize that we didn't have a tag team match and the tag team champions were already seen, but they weren't missed either.
Did not
Mhm.
realize that, but yes.
The women's champion only made an appearance after the match. Like it feels that good of a PLE, and I'm like, to me, if Deadline is going to be what they have,
Unwrapping
After-
mother, father, and unhappy. Mother, father, and happiness.
I can hear his
his
voice
best
as he
Drew on the
says
scene.
it.
I was gonna say I read that in his voice.
Right, he said it
Uh,
too.
If we're gonna have these Iron Man and Iron Woman matches,
Survivor.
Survivor Iron, it was a lot of words. If we Drew, stop it. If we're gonna have these at Deadline every year, I will look forward to Deadline. I feel like I'll look forward to a Deadline as a. Do we start saying what are the big four pay-per-views for NXT at this point? Or are we going to say what are the major ones? Because you got Stand and Deliver, Great American Bash. They did Halloween Havoc as a TV special, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 parts.
2-week TV.
Yeah,
special.
Battleground. That used to be a PLE for WWE. But I'm just saying, what are now going to be their signatures? Because
Signature, yeah.
honestly, I would love to see if they're going to do something like that every year, kind of like how War Games has become now part of Survivor Series.
Mhm.
If this is going to become part of their line, I'm here for it because those two matches outshine the rest of the card, in my opinion.
Showing up
But
did.
No doubt.
those two, and I said, I feel like the men had to turn it up because the women did such a good job. The men look like it was like, oh man, we can't be
Set the
outshined.
tone. Yeah.
Because them women, oh my gosh, they all look like main roster, main event talent that said, we are here. And besides the fact we already talked about Tiffany Stratton already looked like she's a superstar, she didn't overshadow the other women. They all look like they were a big deal.
That was a thing. Yeah.
No doubt.
And I hate to say this, and the way this might be one of your
Uh-oh, here we go.
foreshadowings. Last Legend might be the answer for Jade Cargill.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
When you say
now-
man,
Yeah. Now, what do you mean by that? When you say that Last Legend may be the answer for Jade Cargill.
So if you notice how they're portraying her, I hope they break her away from this metaphor and let her be herself, because I just remember the commentary saying how dominant she is. They put in her position of power. They let her be I don't want to compare her to Bianca Belair because for obvious reasons, but I'm saying like a powerhouse woman that can be there, that could be a tag team partner for Jade or competition for Jade, or somebody that we could say we have a Charlotte and Becky level feud, a Bailey and Becky level feud brewing and knowing where to start. Because right now, Raquel and Jade wouldn't be a good match. We all know, I'm going to say this, I don't want to see Bianca and Jade. I'd rather see them tag team to bring some prestige to the belts, because imagine them two women with their tag belts, with their superstar power, they would sell 1,000 of those belts just because those two women had it.
Facts.
They would be like, well, when did we get to see them two women
Black girl
wrestle?
magic all over the
Yes.
championship titles.
So I'm just saying, Lash might be an answer for that, but I'm gonna just keep that comment. But other than that, I think those two matches, Shawn Michaels, and he did something special with those matches.
NXT Deadline was one of those shows that kind of there seems to be like this overarching purpose to these things now. They're not just, like I said, McMahon to me had a very carny approach, old school promoter. Let's put on the best show and then we'll figure it out later. Versus Triple H has a different approach, and I see that Shawn Michaels is kind of following in this kind of format where everything on the show leads to the next thing. And it's something that Bruce Pritchard just always talked about, where people pitch these ideas, he's always saying, okay, now then what? You know what I mean? Not this hotshot indie booking, because like they're always thinking 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line when it comes to these type of stories. And I think NXT Deadline did that just well. So yeah, let's move on to our famous segment, good for business, bad for business. And of course, today's good for business, bad for business it's NXT themed. It's because today we're talking about the future of the WWE. We're trying to figure out who's going to lead this generation into the future of what WWE is supposed to be. And there's a particular thing that's going on in NXT. I feel like they're setting us up for something. And before we can answer the question of, well, what's next? Who's the top dog? Who's going to be the next big thing? I feel like we got to get through this first before we can really even answer that. Good for business, bad for business. So sponsored by nobody just yet. But if you want to sponsor Good for Business, Bad for Business, please reach out to us at wrestlingrealm@gmail.com with the subject title, advertise. Cramelo Hayes, Trick Williams. Is Cramelo Hayes versus Trick Williams this feud that's kind of pending? Is it good for business, bad for business? I asked this because somebody said, I don't want this feud. I saw it on Twitter earlier. I said, they was like, I don't like skip over it. I don't need it. Because we all thought, and this is the deception that's the Triple H and Shawn Michaels does, is when they split up, we said, okay, cool. That's how you split up a team without having somebody to turn on the next one. And I thought it was done. I said, good. Brothers don't got to fight. And as the weeks progressed, all of a sudden, Cramelo Hayes had a couple of disappointments, and Trick Williams was trying to make a name for himself. And it looked like, one became the big bro, one became the little bro. And maybe those roles might have reversed a little bit. And sometimes it's hard to give up that spotlight. Fast forward a few things, we got some issues. Trick Williams was coming up, and it seems like Cramelo Hayes was trying to put his success on the back burner. Cramelo Hayes failed. And now Trick Williams once again comes up again, and he's attacked. Lexis King is accused. There's some footage. A match ensues. Lexis King makes it very clear it was not him.
Thanks to the payday.
Thanks for the PLE exposure. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Genius.
Basically.
They have been teasing Cramelo Hayes and Trick Williams for a long time.
And
you can't convince me that Cramelo Hayes didn't do it. But the question is, and this is our good for business, bad for business segment this week, is Trick Williams versus Cramelo Hayes going to be one of those defining beasts that kind of sets the tone for NXT going into the future? Like we had Sammy and Kevin, we had Johnny, we had Tommaso. You know what I mean? We had Bailey, we had Sasha. Right? Is Cramelo Hayes, Trick Williams what NXT needs right now for their brand? Because, like I said, Triple H, Shawn Michaels is running NXT. If anybody knows about betrayals, we still talk about the barbershop segment to this day. We talk about the barbershop segment more than we do Shawn Michaels' early part of his singles career and all of Marty Jannetty's singles career. We talk about that's the defining moment for them as a tag team. We don't hear about how the great matches they had. The wrestling diehards and historians always do. Don't we hear them? But like the casual fan talks about, I remember Shawn Michaels, the barbershop segment. That's all we talk about. Like CM Punk's pipe bomb. You know what I mean? It was monumental. That man is running NXT now, and he's setting up this feud. Is it good for business, bad for business? Gentlemen, who wants to take the lead on this one? Because I want to hear people's opinions.
All right. I'll take it. It's great for business.
Great for business. All right. Tell us why is
like
Williams versus Cramelo Hayes great for business?
Well, here's the thing. You need that feud for TV that's going to make you tune in. And this right here has everybody saying, okay, I got to see this and solve this puzzle, right? But they're doing such a great job because they're hitting us with the NXT Anonymous account on social media. And I'm going to do it. I ain't want to, but I'm going to have to.
Go ahead.
Over across the street and down the corner, they got a thing going on. Who's the devil? Nobody's starting to care.
Nobody.
Are you sure about that? You think people don't care?
Are you tuning in to watch it?
It went on too long.
I'm not.
Yeah, are you tuning in to figure out?
I'm curious, but you guys are right. I really had not been watching it.
It went on too long, and it's so far spaced out. Where this is like every week they're interacting with each other. And what I think is like
cringy.
We talk about with Shawn Michaels, and I think somebody said, he's running back all his storylines. We seen the barbershop with the ding dong.
That's
Hello.
genius.
This right here screams him and Diesel, but in reverse, sort of, because, well, probably more so behind the scenes, because Sean was jealous of Diesel because, like, dude, I've been here, but all of a sudden now you the world champion. And what did he do? He went out there and gassed him on purpose at WrestleMania 11. So now we kind of seeing this portray a little bit, if, gotta still say if, allegedly, it's Melo. You know, and when you got throwing Dragunov look so like Dragunov look like the child. If you have like more than 2 children, and when that third child gets involved, and they like, look, I ain't had nothing to do with this. Why would you even say that? And
Right.
that's what Dragunov looked like. Like,
Try to get me in trouble.
Yeah, it looks so genuine. He's like, you know better. I don't even roll like that. And meanwhile, you got Melo and Trick. We ain't gonna talk about Melo and his wrong leg that he was selling. You know.
Oh, I didn't even catch it. Oh no, he did it, bro. He did it
because it was wrong on purpose. You know what I mean? Because he's a student game, pay too much attention to detail. But that's to see if we was paying attention. You know, so all of this is like, man, and let's be real. If I can get a little bit, as I do a show called Breaking Through Glass Ceilings, Uncomfortable Conversations, we get a little bit uncomfortable. It's been a while since we've seen like the brothers fight on the black on black crime, because I don't call it a Hurt Business thing a fight. That was just Bobby destroying everybody. I'm okay with the brothers fighting right here. I don't want to see it with the Street Profits. I don't want to see Angelo even get kicked to the curb.
Yeah, because he's gonna get cut.
You know why you don't want to see the Street Profits? Because we know when they break up tag teams in WWE, one is going to disappear and the other is going to flourish, or we know Angelo's going to wind up with another tag team partner in 6 months because it's going to be something else for him to do. Versus this is 2 established single stars where Trick was the mouthpiece, Carmelo was the workhorse. You know what I mean?
And that's another thing that was great hit at. I'm glad you brought that up. You brought it back. Because at the end of the day, I said Shawn Michaels and Diesel, right? Remember, behind the scenes, Shawn Michaels was the vet. Diesel was new to the game. Same thing with Trick and Melo. Melo told us that during WrestleMania week, like the Trick would come in there, like when they did a spot on the main roster last year. He's like, Trick is like, yo, we gotta go in there. We gotta be like, yeah, let them know we here. We gotta come in with our shades. He's like, whoa. You don't do that in Roman Reigns' locker room. You go in here and be respectful. This ain't the league where you go into a locker room and you show everybody you good. This is a whole different ball game. So, and essentially, what you're seeing is like now. Trick said he was a wrestling fan. He grew up an Attitude Era fan, but because he was pursuing a football career, that took time and it took him away from wrestling. So what I see is now like the same thing where like Melo, like, look, I've been schooling you and I taught you how to do this, and now you getting ahead of me. Nah, homie, I gotta take you out. So that's why this is good for business, because we hear about this type of stuff on the dirt sheets, but they're simmering this, and that's what I love about it. They not just hot shot booking, they slowly cooking, because every week, what are we doing? Every Tuesday, you see Melo is innocent or Melo is guilty all over Twitter, and that's the difference between the Devil storyline.
Brother Hugh, this good for business or bad for business? Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. Is this good for business or bad business for NXT? Dramatic pause.
Is he frozen?
Maybe he's in deep thought.
He's got his thought. It is what I mean. That's it. It's good for business, brothers. You know how he talks. You know, it's
hold on, wait a
boom,
minute.
There you got it.
Are you,
there you go.
Are you impersonating Brother Hugh? The crazy part is I want to know if anybody picked up on that, because I got the graphic up. I was like, I want to be where you thought the Brother Hugh was talking. He got out of here.
There you go. He ran away. He said it was too good. He had to go.
It was too much. What about you, Brother Brandon? Good for business, bad for business. Brian, he says it's great for business.
I think it's good for business because it's given us a compelling story to be invested in, and it's showing us why we should care. And it's kind of like, here you go, Brian. Here's a reference for you. You know, Captain America versus Iron Man. You know how you want to see whose side are you on.
Look at it.
because it like some point you can feel like, did he do it or didn't he? Whose side am I on? But from a business standpoint, the only reason I'm saying it's good and the story is selling itself because Trick figured out real quick how to catch on because we got kind of tired of the whole him gimmick. Because remember at one point his entrance was really his gimmick. And talking about Melo don't miss, sir. That's why I hate when they do gimmicks like that. Melo don't miss, but you just lost, or like main event Jey Uso. So you kicked off the show. All right, wait, I'm sorry. What you get? What I'm saying, like that's just comparison. But Trick Williams, when Booker T started hyping him up and then people started chanting, "Whoop that!" I said, "Oh, he's going to pass Carmelo just because he has the crowd participation. He has people wanting to see him in every space, no matter what he's doing. They want, yeah. Oh, I like it. Oh. But he got people. He got the entertainment aspect down. Carmelo, you can only be with so much. I'm him. Look at me. Him. That's before people like it was cool when you were fighting Braun Breaker because it was like okay, we want something different.
Yep. Yeah, but you lost.
Yeah, and then it was like okay, but people like Ilyanov and all Ilyanov was doing his sympathy, comes to the ring, and everybody was loving it. So now I am, for obvious reasons, it's always nice to have the two brothers in this space, because in that wrestling world, it's a smaller population of them. So to see those two at the forefront, that it's like, oh, this is what I want to tune in for, whether it's at the top of the show, middle of the show, the end. I want to see what's going on. And I feel like if we don't, we'll be like, oh man, what happened? Did we miss something? Let me go check WWE YouTube channel and see if they have a backstage segment. Let's see if they got a bonus content. Are they going to be on the bump? You're going to start seeking it out because you want to see what's going to happen. You want to see what's going to be said next. Are they going to reveal something else? I just hope that it don't fall into that. Yeah, I hope it don't fall into that problem that 6 months from now we still haven't gotten the payoff. But who knows what the payoff can be because let's say Carmelo wins the United States title and Trick wins the NXT championship. That's going to be a whole nother dynamic with them two.
And I honestly thought, I was like, oh, they fooled us. And now Melo hurt, so he ain't going to be able to make it. But then it's like, the doctor was like, yeah, you cleared. When have we ever seen a doctor clear somebody on TV?
That means you've been watching way too long, Brian.
Too long.
I think Attitude Era when who was trying to get out of the match? He was like, no, it's nothing wrong with you. He was like, no, but I'm so hurt. Who was that? It sounded like something Christian would do, but I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
But it was somebody didn't want to fight Steve Blackman, wasn't it? I feel like somebody didn't want to fight Steve Blackman.
I was about to say, it sounded like a Jericho Christian.
It definitely sounds like definitely got Jericho Christian on it. But
breaking news. What Drew got for us?
He made a comment earlier. I was waiting to see if we could address it. He said that's why Jade hasn't been on TV. Her mom passed away.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's my prayers go out to her and her family. That's
absolutely. Sheesh, that's heartbreaking, especially around the holidays.
Exactly.
Right.
You know.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, hit the horn.
Drew Willingham's In or Out Sports Debate is back next week. So if you have not heard of Drew Willingham and Sartoba Media, because the struggle is real to be awesome, the In or Out Sports Debate, ladies and gentlemen, is back. Look up Drew Willingham and Sartoba Media for more information. Shout out to our good brother Drew. Congratulations.
Who actually changed the whole show format just for me because I don't know about the sports.
Yep, that's why Brian always hits the news button every time you start talking about stuff. He's just like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about.
Thanks, Drew.
Yeah, something about the MC Universe today.
Oh no,
what it was? I think it was Ben on the show, and I was like, oh yeah. Anyway,
Brian's like, yo, it's not my warehouse. Brother Hugh, good for business, bad for business. Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes, because it's coming.
I mean, you already know it's good for business for the reasons that y'all stated. But my question is, does Trick show up on SmackDown?
No, time out. When you get the ECW belt back there? No. Time out. When did you get the ECW belt back there?
What do you see?
No, you're not gonna. I don't care about the show. You're not gonna gloss over that, bro. Where did it come from?
Wait a minute. Where did that come from, Dory?
No, because that's the purple. That's the purple ECW logo. I just noticed it. Time out, bro.
That's
He said no,
Greg
wait.
Vince.
Oh, that is a beauty. You.
That's Greg
Oh,
Vince right there. Yep.
He said,
Oh,
wait a
man.
minute, no. He just said
he just gave that one up, huh? Wow. Okay. All right. Sorry.
He just-
Good business, bad business. I had a championship culture moment, but god dang, he just had that casual shit, man. I was like, no, time out. I keep doing this, bro. Just keep having new belts in the background. Brownies, you next. What you got back there,
Right.
buddy? I seen all
What?
this. No,
You seen
I'm checking now, bro, because this is getting out of hand.
Right.
Sorry.
Hey, shout out to Keith in the building. Keith was at Deadline.
Oh,
look.
okay,
Wow.
nice. Yeah,
Hey.
look what Keith said. Look what he said. Look, he's not the only person. So I'm not. Dang.
why does
Everybody has
Dwayne
a
always
story.
know his belt? Yes, everybody
bro,
has a
'cause that was
story.
that's one of my
He-
That's the
right.
Terry
Yeah,
Funk
he
title in my
always
mind.
he always gonna notice the belt.
That is
Sorry.
correct.
Brian,
I
he
didn't- I
noticed
didn't
it
mean
the
to
first
interrupt,
day
but
we changed the intro. He noticed the belt in the intro.
Right.
The
Okay.
first day, he was like, "No, stop it. Where is it? We doing this right?" I was like, "What?"
See,
How did-
you only been working with him for a year and some change. I've been working for 12 years. I know
I
this
used to get on,
stuff.
I used to get on Brad H's nerves, bro. Everything. Just like I used to give him the blues about that ECW title he had that he just neglected. That joke was on the
Yeah.
floor in the basement.
the
Sorry.
Brian belt?
The Mark Henry.
No, that's the Brian belt. It's not even nobody else. It's Brian's
That was
belt.
Brian H's first belt. And
He was
just-
the
just-
champion
you
for
have no-
the 2 years.
You have no sentimental value to that thing.
He's the one started this whole streak. He was like day 2,746 of holding that title
Mm-mm-mm.
and carried it proud. Like I got to a point, I was like, "Where your belt? Why you bring your belt?" It didn't feel right without him.
I held it for. I said, bro, let me hold this for a week, bro. He's like, yeah. And I swear to goodness, I just walk around my house. I'm telling we college students, no shame. Literally, I was, my mom was like, "What are you doing?" Like nothing. I'm a champion. What do you expect me to do? Anyway, sorry, brother. I didn't
Keith,
mean to cut you off, brother.
Tell him about the iconic winged eagle because
Uh-oh.
you might not have seen, but a championship culture. So Brandon hates that belt. What a passion.
I don't
Season
hate
1
the belt.
championship
I
culture.
just-
This show is turned to like a championship culture advertisement because that Christmas hat threw me all the way off. So
Wing Eagle versus Big Eagle. Why the Big Eagle is better?
season
One of the
1
first-
championship culture playlist, youtube.com wrestling round championship culture playlist, season 1. What was the title of that show? The
Wing
Eagle,
Eagle versus Big Eagle.
Wing Eagle versus Big Eagle. Trust me, that was a debate you didn't want to miss. You
That
want
was
to
it.
see the brothers go at it. I sat back and enjoyed myself. But sorry, brother. Here, I
But
didn't mean
all
to
valid
interrupt you.
points in that show.
Yeah.
All valid points. And don't
Very
get me
much
wrong,
so.
I have a respect for the belt after that show, but I
Definitely.
still believe that the Big
Good job,
Eagle
Brian. That you
is
changed his
better.
mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, brother. Hugh. You threw me off.
Because
Sorry.
you know why? Because every belt has a story. Back to you.
Everybody
Dude.
has every belt does have a story, especially those ones
Exactly
in those
why.
boxes
That's
back
exactly.
there. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I probably made you forget your train of thought. But I'm
Oh, no,
I
no, I
can't
was
keep
just-
doing
I-
that kind of stuff. Just got belts. Just got belts.
Go
New
ahead.
belts.
Go ahead.
hanging
I'm
out,
just gonna
like
do
that.
that. I'm just gonna hold this right here while you talk and the show
That
Brian.
right there?
There we go.
Okay,
Now
okay.
we get the trolling. Now we get the trolling.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother. You sorry.
You're not gonna grab the other strap, the other color.
Stop it. Tell you good for
No.
business or bad for business.
All right.
Stop it. I like the white strap one better.
I was asking for story purposes. Would you have Trick show up on SmackDown?
Oh,
Being that
yeah.
Melo is in that tournament now,
Ooh,
somehow they could play
boy.
it like, look,
Okay, I
Like, look,
don't care. We can do that
Tricky
all
in the
night.
cause-
What the heck, bro? What y'all doing? Like, what time y'all on, bro? Nah, everybody keep grabbing belts and stuff. Like, I mean, it ain't that, but shoot, I got something. God
Why
dang.
was it so aggressive?
Nah, because everybody
Why
keep
was it
grabbing belts and stuff. I'm like, well, shoot. Like, god dang, we gonna just
Why was it so aggressive though?
all right, real quick. When did you get that, please? Can you just tell me when you got it, brother Hugh?
I had this for a while. How long I had this, Brandon?
So
A couple months now? Probably like 4 or 5
did
months.
you just never displayed it? You didn't have it in the background, nothing.
It was in the background for a while. It was up top, but I took it down.
okay.
And
Like
it
that
was
winged
side.
eagle in the back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Absolutely.
for those who are listening. It's brother Hugh just casually brought it. Excuse me, ECW championship belt to the
He
forefront.
said the
Absolutely
winged
gorgeous.
eagle with white spray. I'm not worthy.
Everybody throwing belts. They got
Why is that white spray? Oh, why is this happening?
Hey,
Why
what's up,
why
But-
are we like this?
I don't know. This
Oh
is just
my
what
God.
it's been one of those weeks, man. And god dang it, we talking about the future. So it's obvious we're going to get Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes.
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
my last question I ask before we make a definitive. I want everybody's definitive answer of who is going to be who's the future of WWE at this next generation. Who needs the win the most? Trick Williams or Carmelo Hayes?
Oh,
It's because it's going to end up being what you said, Brian H. You're going to end up in a situation like Brett and Diesel, where one guy's going to get the rub, but the other guy could potentially be the one that gets over. Same thing with Brett and Davey, SummerSlam '92.
mm-hmm. That's tough.
Excuse me.
Who
And
needs
you
to
look at
Who
win
needs to
more?
win? Exactly.
who
That's
needs to win more.
I think Melo, because Melo got to go to a different level.
Heck no.
Like you
He does.
already said it. Trick
Yeah.
already got the crowd.
and
He's
Trick will
already
be okay in
over.
defeat. He'll
What about the redemption story? Trick Williams is innocent. He supported Carmelo Hayes in his worst days. And
Mhm.
Carmelo Hayes is pretty much just turned to a heel. I'm jealous and I can't handle it.
Mhm.
You don't
He
think he
got
deserves a redemption?
He do, but it's easy. It'll be easy to sympathize with Trick because, like you said, he innocent. Melo, in a sense, he's like, okay, if he loses, it's like, all right, then what? Been there, done that. You know, he's like, I'm more over than you, and I'm better than you. I don't know. It's tough, but I just think Melo needs this because we already know championships, been there, done that. He'll get some more, but a win in this situation,
Can he carry
it'll
that
make
momentum
him.
into to the main roster? Or
Yeah,
now being a heel going forward?
yeah, he'll have to. It'll be the second version of Austin Theory before Theory cooled off. Like when Theory got reset by Triple H,
Sure.
he'll be like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I like it. Anybody else? Anybody else?
I think Trick will be all right in defeat, but
Mhm.
Carmelo needs to win more because Trick can bounce back faster. If Melo loses, he might become I don't want to say afterthought, but it'll be like, why is he here? Trick can always rise and
That's what
say,
I'm
okay,
scared
look
of.
what I'm doing. Yeah. You know, and so he needs it to say he did it, and then redemption for Trick to keep because everybody's gonna cheer for him regardless. They got something they want to do. You know, they got something they want to see him. So I think that when it happens, that's where Melo moves off of NXT and Trick stays and flourishes until he's
Okay.
ready to move.
Yeah,
But
because
we kind of
he's got a long way to go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I said we kind because like the
He
dance
does.
partners in NXT are there and they're mixing them up very well between Braun Breaker, Carmelo, Trick, Elanov, Baron Corbin. You know, there's a lot, and now you got Dijak, and they put Briggs in a singles competition, which he should have never been in a tag team anyway. But now you're starting to see that they can intertwine some dance partners where if one leaves, it's still a good branch there.
Right.
If one is not there, it's still a good mix because Deadline made me say, "Oh, Braun Breaker is kind of still a big deal in the NXT space." So I think that Trick needs to lose this feud ultimately, but he's going to look like the bigger star due to him and Melo's blow off.
Brother, you? Who
I
needs
feel like
more?
Melo needs it right now because
Let's go with Melo.
Brandon alluded to it earlier. His character is just kind of mellowing out right now. I mean, excuse the
Sure.
pun, but
Okay.
like
Okay.
it's kind of dry right now, and he needs
He
something
needs a
new
jolt.
to rejuvenate his
Yeah.
character, right? So that's why I think he needs it right now. And of course, like you said, Trick, he's over like crazy, so he can take the
But
loss
remember how
and
Melo
bounce right back.
started? He came in a tournament. He was that
Mhm.
guy that was doing something different. And it was like, hey, he's here. And then it was like Trick just appeared with him one day. It was like, oh, his manager, his mouthpiece. You know what I mean? But then it was like we've seen the evolution of Trick Williams for the best. We really
Yep.
haven't seen that
Right.
much Melo besides going from shorts to pants.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
And back again.
And
The ring gear makes a difference, right?
It does. Your ring gear definitely it can set the tone for your just your overall look, your future. Make us imagine if people don't remember, but Shawn Michaels' first singles match was he was still dressed as a rocker, right? And just as a tag team, and
Right.
it didn't click right, but he had to change his look, so on and so forth. But with that being said, who is the future of the WWE? Who is the next superstar to kind of lead the brigade commercially, financially, all of the above? Now you can name a handful of people, you can name one person or not, whatever the case. But this is we're wrapping up right here. This is the Pierre Resistance. We talked about NXT Deadline. We talked about so much new and young talent that's kind of infused that's being groomed for the future. So here's the $1 million question: who is the future of the WWE?
Ooh, who wants to go first? Because I got a loaded answer. Y'all want me to give you my answer?
There's and here's I'll throw you guys a layup before you give a loaded answer. There's a handful of guys from back in the day that were chosen ones that end up being bust, right? And then there were guys that weren't handpicked that turned out to be superstars.
Yep.
CM Punk, one of them. Daniel Bryan, another one of them. You know what I mean? Guys like that, guys that were not chosen. But then you look at a guy like Mark Jindrak was his athleticism and size. He was supposed to be a player, and he wasn't.
Yeah, he's from the
Sean-
Evolution, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be an
He
evolution.
was the first one in Evolution. Then he get like the wellness violation or something?
Just
Yeah,
he was
putting in Batista.
him and Randy Orton were hanging out with each other during that time period. So you do the math. But that guy, so
Randy.
So there were a lot of guys that we thought, oh wow, this guy's supposed to be a big deal, and he didn't turn out to be. And there's a lot of people that you didn't think would be big deals, and now they are. So you think about our favorite superstars now and what he were in FCW at the time, and you think about even back to the OVW dates, that famous class we hear about Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, John Cena, so on and so Shelton Benjamin, so on and so forth, right? Now we're watching this new talent develop, and I'm asking everybody, who do you guys see as being up next? Who is the future of the WWE? And go.
So I'm gonna just say this quick statement. It's
That's
funny because do you remember Roman Reigns in NXT?
No.
barely.
But he was one of those people that was chosen. But look where he is now. We remember Seth, first champion, chosen one. He didn't do the same thing that Roman has done. He hasn't been the main event player like Roman, but he was the main event in NXT. So when I say that, I think it was a product of the environment, as in Vince McMahon was running it, and it being the one to break out of the Shield, turn on him because he had the most interchangeable character. But yet we got this big baby star Roman that we're gonna keep making, right? With Triple H in charge now, he's trying to correct all the stuff that he probably wanted to put in place to build these superstars the way that they should. That's why I'm happy that I finally figured out what to do with Bronson Reed and what you call it with Ivar going at it alone because Eric is the one injured, right? It's giving you something to do. It's giving them something else to do, right? But I think the next superstar or the next breakout star is going to be literally Sean, give me the roster, flip them over. We're going to see all of those people transition over, and you're going to have a Seth Rollins in the space like a Randy Orton is. You're going to have a Roman Reigns in the space like, I hate to say, like The Rock. It's going to be that type of star power that's going to come back and help this NXT roster be the main roster of people because all of them have that potential right now. Because I don't see any that would just automatically just flop. Even somebody like Axiom, they put him with Dragon Lee. It was a good showcase, and I'm like, I kind of forgot about him. And then it was like, oh yeah, I forgot he can do that. You know what I mean? It was kind of like a thing where it's like everybody has a purpose with the right dance partners, and I think WWE as they start transitioning the superstars that we love right now into those legend status, like a Randy Orton, a Daniel Bryan, a John Cena, all these big mega stars they're gonna transition to that because let's call it what it is: Cody, Roman, Seth, they're all going to be those type of people sooner than what we know. If they're on a part-time schedule, they're going to be on those levels of break the ceiling, bring them in when we need a big, but we have this roster of people. So I think they're going to push some of those stars to that point and bring the other ones up, because can you imagine a Becky Lynch coming back to fight Tiffany Stratton in 3 to 5 years? If Becky's going off doing movies and come back and say, oh yeah, I can mix it up with her one more time. But a Tiffany Stratton is still wrestling a Chelsea Green on there, a Bailey coming back saying, oh yeah, I got this as a part-time schedule. Bianca being that person in the limelight. All these people are there. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair dominating the women division as they are now, but in a different light, as in like what the mega superstars are doing. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but you're dancing around.
Exactly.
No, I said,
dancing around,
no,
brother guy.
I said the roster.
That's cheating.
Because
No,
everybody,
that
no,
is cheating.
everybody on the
going to
roster.
Brandon, who's
Everybody
going
on
to
the
main
roster
event
can be.
WrestleMania? Who's going to main
who's
event
going?
WrestleMania?
See, you should have asked that. You just said who's the next.
Well,
Who's
see,
the main event WrestleMania?
yeah, I mean, but you talk about the whole roster. You got to get specific. The people want to know who the guy think is going to be up next. NXT, get it? Next,
We can put it
see what I
on
did
paper,
there?
put it on the record.
Who
Put
is
it on
going
the
to main
record?
event WrestleMania?
Come back to me.
Brother Hugh, see how he gave that whole speech, and then he talking about come
Because
back.
you
to
didn't
me.
ask about you ain't asked about main event
I
WrestleMania.
get, because I thought you would at least be a little more straightforward. What you said was true. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, wait a minute, dog. You copping out? Answer the question. Who's going to main event WrestleMania?
I had an answer
Come
similar
back.
to Brandon's, and I was just going to talk about the women's
Go
division
ahead, by all means.
and how great they are, and potential superstars coming out of just the women in NXT in general.
I was about to say,
So I
brother
see them
Hugh,
coming up. You
Mhm.
said what?
I was about to say, watch how you talk about I was about to say, watch how you talk about the influx of new women. You know what happened last time? Sir Wilkins talked about the
Yeah.
influx of new women's talent to the main roster.
That's why I'm taking my time. I'm trying to,
Like what I did there, that was good, wasn't it?
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
But you start mixing
That was smooth.
the
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
two divisions. You start mixing the two divisions, and that's like one big bowl of just megastars all together. Like you had Roxanne Perez coming up, Tiffany Strattons, even to people like
Or
the
Jade,
Fallons
Nia
and
Rockford.
Or Jada's
right.
getting some buzz.
Last Legend. Great. I see her as
Yeah,
a great
she-
mid carder or mid high level, elite card. Like so, you just have a good mixture of women talent that's potentially the best women's division in wrestling right now that you can have to deal with. But as far as the men, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
It's hard to
Who's
pick.
main
Who can main
who's
it?
main event
Who's main event?
WrestleMania?
Who's main event?
I mean, I think Braun Breaker's gonna get his chance, of course, for the obvious reasons.
You think he's that good?
I
You
would
think
say
he'll
the
main
next
event
best
WrestleMania?
bet would be Melo.
When did Braun Breaker become a black man?
Hey, my
See,
gosh.
the tanning bed, man. He got that Hogan tan.
You saw, I was looking, I said, wait a minute, why you look like you? Did I miss something?
Yeah. I mean, he has the look. He has the charisma. I mean, he's there.
I like Braun
But
Breaker
I
a
think
lot.
Melo. I think
I think-
Melo. You got to remember too, Melo. He's good behind the scenes, from what I hear. Remember, if you watch
You
that
think he's too
documentary with
small?
Cody Rhodes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
Look
yeah,
who
you're
worked
right.
out.
Yeah, you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
Cody
had
Rhodes.
the guy.
that's
So,
true.
From what I understand, like he's good behind the scenes. Might get that push too, and he might end up being. But of course, he has to, progress and whatnot and enhance his skills. But yeah, I mean, out of those two, as far as men, Melo and then Braun Breaker, I can't really think of anybody else besides. Well, Trick, I feel like he just needs a little bit more work right now.
Yeah.
But eventually, he will be there too. But as far as megastar, those are the two that come to mind right off top.
I mean, you're
For
not
men.
in bad company because that's who Triple H and Shawn Michaels chose to rebuild NXT around. We were kind of mad with the new look of NXT until we found out, like, nah, this was kind of planned. Like Triple H made it clear, like, yeah, we're going to rebuild everything around you and Braun. We got to hit the reset button. So, I think those are the obvious choices that if one right now I see one versus the other. But let's see what Keith Jenkins has to say. He says, I'm gonna say the next face of the company isn't on a WWE roster right now. I don't see anyone right now being the flag bearer, and that's not bad assessment though. You know, because that's a
That is
conversation that
true.
needs to be had. Thank you, Keith Jenkins. That's a conversation that needs to be had sometimes. You know, 10 years ago, who was that FCW roster? Who do we say was going to like main event WrestleMania then? It was nobody on that roster who said, "Oh no, this guy's going to be a," you know, Dusty and them new Dusty Rhodes already had his mind made up who was going to be the one.
You got it. You can't sell it. You can't buy it. You can't use it.
He said, "You got
You got
it."
it.
Brian
I'm gonna
H.
tell you this
Mhm.
because I know what you're asking. You're saying, look at this and look at somebody who's just raw, and pick out from there. You know, so
I mean,
I
look at
do
John
like
Cena, the prototype.
yeah, I like
Never
Melo
thought
and
he was going to
Braun.
be him. Go ahead.
No facts, you know. I like Melo and Braun. I think that's a story that goes. They essentially they're gonna be married to each other. They're gonna fight forever because the chemistry's there. But just to pick out some other names, I like Josh Briggs, big country, big strong dude. I think he's gonna be a main event player.
Remember him in Evolve?
I didn't watch too much Evolve. I know it was there, but I didn't watch it.
Him and Austin Theory had some good matches.
See, there you go.
I
You
was never
know,
the king of Evolve. Yeah.
yeah, I see him, right? The women definitely Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton is, you know, aesthetically it's easy to say, oh, Mandy Rose, Trish Stratus, you know, insert lady with blonde hair, but she is her own person and she carries herself. You know, what I mean, she trained under the Gagnes, you know, so she knows what she's doing. So she's on my list. I like Lash Legend. Lash we're seeing is somebody who they're gonna, you know, you got Jade Cargill. I know we said we got her, but I don't see them necessarily putting them two together just yet. I think we got a long ways to go because you're going to have those matchups. The same thing which you're going to get when it's time with Rhea and Bianca. You know what I mean? But I also really like Thea Hale. I like her a lot.
Oh yes, she's coming to her own. Hasn't she?
Yeah. So I'm looking at her, and you know, I can never get her. Lyra Valkyria, I like her. It's a reason why Becky put her over. You know, she's somebody
It's
that
a
I can
reason
definitely.
Mommy put over Blair Davenport, as we can see.
That is true.
And of course, if we're going with names, of course, I'm going with my girl Roxanne Perez. Did you not
Over
think I
Cora
was going?
Jade?
I was about to say the same thing.
Before Cora
Over
Jade?
Cora?
I like both of them. I was going to say
more,
Cora.
Who's more seasoned to you right now? Right now.
Character wise, Cora. Wrestler wise, Roxanne.
Come on, man. This is wrestling realm. You know character matters. There.
but see now Roxanne been doing. I've been vocal about how she needs to go to another level, and she's not disappointing.
She's been taking
every time I turn around. And here's the difference. I'll say this because it would be cheating to say all the women, but I will say this. When the 4 horsewomen were down there, you had the 4 horsewomen, and then you had everybody else. They were still relevant. Your Carmelas, your
Alexa
Iconics.
See,
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa
Emma? Bliss was a whole different person. You know what I mean? Emma.
Ember had just came. All right, Emma was there, but Ember Moon had just came, right?
Nah, Ember wasn't there
She was
yet,
after that.
and I wouldn't even dare. She would have been above them, considering everything she had already did on Independence, right? But you had them. Then the next crop with Ember Moon, with Shayna, they was, you know, you saw more stars coming together, right? But this group, we've seen them all develop, so it's not just like you got these 4 horsewomen, then you got everybody else. You can insert and pull people out at any time, you know. Insert this one, insert that one. So there's another one. That's on Level Up, but you know, and so you're seeing a lot of people.
Lola Vice.
Lola Vice is another one. But I tell you, who's another guy that I saw the other day, who's Raw, or Obi Femi. You know, he should. I think he's straight from Alabama, straight from the football field.
He's straight from the football field.
He's got a look, but you have a different. I trust these trainers the people down there who will get him ready, that we won't see another Mason Ryan or we won't see another Ryback. That they'll have him set. He'll be his own different person. And man, they in good shape, man. I'm excited. I like what they said. Montez, he's on the main roster, but Montez Ford is a future star.
That's a
I'm about
good
to say
one.
Grayson Waller too.
Yeah. Oh,
Grayson Waller's gonna be a player.
Wait till next
Yeah,
week.
he's going.
Wait till. I
the
mean
next-
next week. February when they go to go to
Australia.
Dylan's.
Oh yeah,
Well, Dylan said
Australia.
they don't go over to Perth. He said they don't go
They
over there. Yeah, but
But what
it's a
about
reason.
Nathan Frazier and Charlie Dempsey? I think they diamonds in the rough.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
definitely.
them.
I like
Yeah.
Nathan Frazier a lot.
I got a hot
Okay.
take. Charlie gonna be a bigger. We're gonna like Charlie more as a wrestler than we did his father.
I can
Really?
see that.
You think he got more personality?
Bingo.
Oh, yeah.
William Regal was funny in the Attitude Era, and then we love him as an authority figure. But boy, like when Lord Stephen Regal and all stuff, like ew. And maybe we just wasn't accustomed to the British stuff yet.
Wrestling purist love.
Yeah.
William Regal, not the casual fan.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't saying that to his hand. I shook his hand. That's the only time I ever felt like he could have broken it if he wanted to. And I'm like,
Right.
but no, I respect him, but I think we're gonna like his son as a wrestler and character more because he's gonna be more US seasoned.
There you go. Yeah. He's not going to come such a British strong style type. You know what I mean?
He's not going to do
My
what
bad,
Tyler
Steph.
Bate and
He
Ilya
played.
had to
You're
do.
right. He did shot put. I'm sorry. She said he didn't play football, but I know he's like straight from athletics. Obi Femi.
Oh, he was part of the Level Up program, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I guess my question to you, Brother Allen, do you think that these stars having that second run are going to bounce back to the main event like a Dijak, a Baron Corbin, these stars that went back down? Or are they going to just stay there?
I think they will eventually. You know what I mean? But I think as wrestling fans, we take the timeline of success and we kind of drag it away. Like, look at Cody right now. When Cody first started, right? Even at the height of his celebrity or his height of while Cody made it, he was the Intercontinental Champion. I don't think there was ever a point that I see him now, even when he left and went to the independents to try to find himself, that I said, oh, no, this guy's going to come back and be a mega star and lead the company. You know what I mean? And sometimes it takes those later runs. You look at
Drew.
Yeah, you look at guys like you look at who's a guy that like he kind of look at JBL. JBL's a good example. He's a guy that you look the first maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years of his career. There's nothing about that makes there's nothing about that. Like there's nothing about Justin Hawk Bradshaw, there's nothing about Blackjack Bradshaw, and even to a degree, it's nothing about APA Bradshaw to make you go, oh, this guy's gonna be a Hall of Famer as a world champion. As one of the greatest heels to ever do this. He would have been a babyface APA guy and respect his cowboy gimmick stuff before. Like he would have been fine with that. You know what I mean? But like
Hall of Famer.
Late into his career, like I said, he's a Hall of Famer. Like late into his career, he had a run. You know what I mean? And I
shave your mustache and boom.
It just changed. Like who? First of all, at that age, you just changed the whole gimmick. You know?
Yeah.
Like literally.
Out to Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero's another one. You know what I mean? Like those guys just had those runs later. Like, who's another one? Like some guys had those runs early. Like Dolph Ziggler. No disrespect to you, brother. Dolph Ziggler had his
eyebrow go up. His eyebrow went up.
Yeah,
right?
that's that zigzag. He had a run early. Like, oh yeah, he's young. Let's get him going early. But then after a while, when he got older, he's got to he's out to WWE now. And I think if he stays, is like he calls his own shots. He could be a bigger superstar than he has a second run. Even Hollywood Hogan, right? Now he's a situation that's maybe different is because he was already huge, but he went to the top and literally fell all the way down to the bottom. I mean, Pastamania was a thing. You know what I mean? And
he was still world champion.
Jimmy,
that's the crazy part.
Jimmy Hart. I mean, because people they used Hulk Hogan at one point. It's because commercially he was still a success, but as a wrestler, Jimmy Hart says we were getting booed out of arenas. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he becomes Hollywood, and he has a second reel. He almost has two careers. You know what I mean?
That's why he's the GOAT.
Even a guy like PCO. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, who would have thought that he would have had that second surgery?
Right. I just seen some stuff with him from the Attitude Era. The Brawl for All. He was in the Brawl for All.
Exactly. Like how do you go from that to all of a sudden? Now it's like he was one of Ring of Honor's most shocking superstars, and then he transitioned to TNA and became a, like
main event player.
And they're proud. He was a champion, and they were proud to say we re-signed him. Like this dude had a second run. His career should have been over, like in terms of his age, his body at work. But
he says Lex Luger. That's interesting, especially considering he was the top guy in WCW, NWA. Had to come to WWE, these high expectations, flops, and then goes back to WCW, different attitude, and boom, he was he was the top guy.
Yeah. And that's
I wasn't a fan of Lex Luger.
Yeah, he's not a total package guy. I feel the same way about guys like Dijak. I feel the same way about guys like Corbin. They're gonna have to wait there because they're not there yet. But like once you're established name, you know what I mean.
I believe more in Dijak than Corbin getting back to the main roster because I think
because we haven't really seen anything from Dijak. You know what I mean? Because his main roster role was just what do you call himself? Retribution.
It'll
feel needs Keith Lee.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Of course, he needs his dance partner, Keith Lee. So I think Mark Henry, another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mark Henry went from just
he invested so much money in him.
and sexual chocolate too.
He went from a sidekick, like you said, to sexual chocolate, to almost the funny man. And then late in his career, he had more title runs.
But remember when they signed him, he was this big deal because he was fresh off the Olympics.
Yeah, and it was always paid.
Bingo.
And he was still going to compete. Remember, he still was able to compete in those competitions to literally be the world's strongest man.
He had a fat contract because they paid him like a former athlete. He's like I was a guy just coming to learn. He said a lot of guys were mad because I was getting guaranteed money, like I was getting big money contracts, and and he carried that all the way through.
Wasn't even a gold medalist.
No, he wasn't. He was just America's representation. Yeah.
I think he messed up during the Olympics. I think like he dropped like one of the weights or something.
And then he has a Hall of Pain run. Like, come on.
I also got through. If we could talk about somebody from the main roster, I don't want to go too deep in it, but just the one person.
Sure.
My boy, Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a player. He's a player right now. That means he ain't but 20-something years old.
Exactly. Right? Somebody said the ruthless aggression era, nobody gets booed. That's what Kaz was saying the other day. So you look at these people now, they reached that status where nobody wants to boo them. And somebody quote tweeted said, "Yeah, you got to add Dominic Mysterio. He was there during the ruthless aggression era. He was what they said is one of the longest running vets on the roster because he was there. He told me, he said, even as a young man, I knew I was supposed to get paid. I knew it was about the money. So his dad said, hey, you want to do this? Well, you know they're gonna pay you, right? Well, all right, then what do I just put my hands on the ladder? And that pop he got.
Oh yeah, people like it was, first of all, everybody lived through him like he was a little kid.
Right.
Like, this story's getting even more real. Like you see this dude, and he had them innocent baby eyes. He just like looking up and grabbing the
with his little blonde tips on his hair.
Right. And Steph just reminded me, who's his first opponent? I mean, who do he get first? CM Punk in LA.
Yeah.
For the house show during the tour. They trust him, Randy working with him said, he's better ahead of the game.
Everybody said great things about it. I was watching Impulsive with Logan Paul. Randy Orton raved about having the opportunity to work with. Yeah, it was really good. He just raved about having the opportunity. He said because Ray looked after me. He said he's like, and I know Randy Orton values that because he was a knucklehead. And he said Ray was one of those guys that just like kind of pulled him along. Like I get it, young fella. I know you acting a fool right now, but he was like, man, Ray. He said Ray always looked out for me. So just to have the
being generations having the business in your blood, both of them.
Facts.
Ray being obviously second generation, Randy being third generation. It's like, all right, cool. Now it's like, it's kind of he's paying the favor back. Did y'all check out before we get out of here? Did y'all check out Seth Rollins' interview with SI Media?
No,
I
I
missed
did
it.
not.
Oh, that's a good one. He really gets into what happened with him and Punk. Talk
Is
about-
it a video?
I think they do got a video. I listened to it on the way to the in the gym the other day, but I do think it's a video.
I think it
If
is.
I
I
find
think I
it,
saw a clip
I'll look
of it.
for it.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
Seth Rollins out here selling tickets to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
was before I heard it before Raw.
Okay.
Oh, so he was he was planting the seeds for you.
Yeah,
Nah, he
like
done-
he
I mean-
probably did the interview the week before, probably in between last Raw and this Raw. You know,
Wow.
but yeah, he was definitely he knew what he doing.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
yeah, he
when
making
he got on that microphone and he started talking WrestleMania, I said, "Oh, there he is. He's selling his
Yeah.
tickets." Like we thought Roman is going to be the like, no offense, but I think CM Punk might have a bigger main event than Roman this year, because if we get Cody Roman 2,
We've seen it already.
yeah, and people are kind of
Yeah.
ready for Cody. Like we're like, and don't get me wrong, we're primed and we're ready, and people kind of disgruntled. Roman's going to make it a. Roman's going to make it. Every time I get bored with the idea of Roman does something different now than he's never done before. He
Yeah.
puts on a performance of a lifetime to be like, okay, yeah, this is worth it. Like he just hit the stuff we used to complain about, the interactions with the fans, the camera, the wise man. I was like, yeah, he's making me
He's
forget
like, I
about the
never want to
fact.
come back to the city. That's so stupid. When he said that, I said, "Oh wow!" And he knew the camera was right there too. I said, wow.
Like he said, he knew. I think it was Logan Paul's show or somebody's show, because he was saying he know like they got the best camera people. He said, so I can use that as an element. He
Oh,
said we
yep,
should do that on a
yep.
football field. So he talked to the camera. That time when he walked up there, he said, "I'm the best, man." But I'm still
The
I know,
impromptu promo, yeah.
But when he
Alright.
was on one of the late shows, he had both of the belts, and he was like, a year ago you were here with just that belt. This year you're here with both belts. Which one is? He was like, "This is my baby. I
Yeah.
made this special," and he was pointing to the Universal title. I was like,
Oh,
"They
yeah,
definitely
on
made the
First
Universal." And he was like, "Yeah, I made this special. This is the belt that everybody wanted to see. When I won this, this became mine." And I was like, "They kind of did make the Universal title
I
more
hated that
important
blue
than the
belt. And then all of a sudden I
Right.
said, God dang it, that belt is so important now. It's not so bad. I'm like, I think I
And-
need
and-
it now.
And the tribal chief will be on SmackDown on Friday. I can't
Lord,
wait.
Yes, sir.
Oh Lord, he speaks.
Moneymakers, man. There's so many moneymakers. Moneymakers. Like
I'm
I'm
loving
not.
Solo
wrestling
is going to be a
right now.
money maker. Solo going to
Bro.
be a. he's
Oh,
gonna be there.
1,000%.
Oh yeah,
So-
come on now.
He wearing
I see
shoes
him-
now too.
He's
About to
got
be him and his
the
new
pants, the boots. He looks like Samoa Joe. He's the next
I
Samoa
didn't
Joe.
realize that. I was trying to figure out who boots those were. I was like, why do they look so
Bro.
funny?
Looks like Samoa Joe. Shout out to Samoa Joe involved in that devil storyline. And MJF got attacked and he was in the ring.
Is Tony Khan really about to strip them of the tag belts?
I hope.
I can't keep up, man. I just like guys. I like certain guys. I like guys on the shows, man. Like I don't know, man. I can't get into the show. It's just like
The fact that they add another belt is still beyond me. And
Yep,
this is
the
from the
right.
belt guy.
the global title. Oh man.
Wait,
No,
they
that's
added another belt?
IWGP.
Bro,
No, that's
yeah,
IWGP is going to have the global.
Okay, so
They're having the
that's
triple
IWGP,
crown.
oh yeah, the triple crown. The IWGP in New Japan announced that they're it's the no more United States Championship, so they're merging the Intercontinental Champions United to the what do they call it? The Global Championship.
Global heavyweight championship, because they wanted to be more focused than just at the press conference. He said something more than just United States, Japan. They want to be all over it. So it was like for Europe. It looked like the belt they're going to take everywhere. Like it's going to be the one that says they'll fight in New Japan Strong and IWGP. It'll float. That's my takeaway from it. It looked like they're saying, "Oh, this is going to be everywhere."
It's the expansion belt. It's the belt where they say, okay, let's take this belt around the world as we try to take New Japan from being a strictly Japanese product and make it a more of a global product, just to preserve the lifeblood of the company, because things are changing. But
we don't have to wait that long. It's January 4th.
yeah,
Will Ospreay, Moxley, and David Finlay. So, two AEW guys and one New Japan guy. They'll give it to Mox probably, so he can be on AEW with another belt.
Wrestle Kingdom is right around the corner, man. We're starting off fresh. We're starting off with a new year.
And then Okada come to WWE.
He's got to stop in TNA first. He's got some unfinished business there, he said. But to me, it's all a chess match. I think these guys are like trying to get as much American television exposure as they can before they make their real moves. You know what I mean? So yeah, but gentlemen, this has been an excellent discussion. We today, like I said, shout out to everybody that got involved in the conversation and helped us figure out who is the future of the WWE. As we have to talk about the future, because I think the future of the WWE is going to play a major part in the Royal Rumble this year, and we have yet to see how this will unfold. But as we inch closer and closer to this year's Royal Rumble, well, really, I guess next year's Royal Rumble in 2024. It kind of sets the tone. It sets the shape for what we'll be moving towards in regard to the road to WrestleMania. With that being said, follow us on all social media platforms at Wrestling Realm. Like, subscribe, and engage in the conversation with us as usual. Championship Culture, youtube.com/the Wrestling Realm Championship Culture playlist, patreon.com/the Wrestling _Realm. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special holiday episode of Championship Culture, Unwrapping Happiness with the brand with Brandon the Guy got it. That's right. There will be some Christmas has come early for the Wrestling Realm, and Championship Culture has some surprises for us. They said this is guaranteed to make us happy. So yes, this Tuesday, 8 p.m. at its normal time slot. I hope this goes viral. I'm sure this picture will show up with the link and the ad for everything. But special holiday episode, just it's perfect.
What do you say?
He said, "Why is his face like that?" So it looks like AI. AI, give me a picture of the Bell King with a Santa Claus hat.
That's
smiling.
a real face. I made that face.
No, clearly. And guess what? That face has made this graphic.
I made that face.
Special holiday episode of Championship Culture this Tuesday. Please, he's going to be unboxing some things. You know what that means? That means it's got to be belts. What else would it be? The prelude to season 2, which will be on now officially January 23rd, is a week after the original date. Special episode, nice mega action-packed episode as the Bell King unveils some new championship belts. Something he had a hand in, and something very special. So if you are looking to catch up on season 1, don't forget youtube.com/Wrestling Realm playlist Championship Culture. We will be back here next week once again as we take the next step on our road to Royal Rumble, and we take the next step on the road to WrestleMania. So join us next week, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting out of here. We appreciate you all. We will catch you next time. We're going to laugh at Brandon and his Santa Claus hat once again. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!